Hey guys, Neonexus here.
And Mr. Sasko Dragon.
We're here to bring you our thoughts on the new TCG ruling when it comes to Exceed monsters and Exceed materials. Basically, the ruling is, guys, as I described last night, or should I say in the very, very early hours of this morning.
Oh, yeah, too early.
Yeah, I didn't actually get up till about 3:30. But that's besides the point.
Didn't you know? That was terrible.
But, no. I found out through one of WK Dad's videos that someone posted a comment saying that the rules have been updated when it comes to Exceed material monsters, and that Tour Guide Sangan, going to Leviathan Dragon, Detached Sangan, the search no longer happens. So I decided to do a bit of investigating, went on the American site and found out the ruling. I was like, I'm kind of pleased and I'm kind of not.
But it's a big disappointment to everyone out there who's built all their lovely decks and thinking they're going to be OTKing and FTKing. They've just epically failed.
And to everyone who spent like £500 on like a playset of tour guides.
Someone please tell me, why would you spend 500 quid? I mean, the ban list only came out yesterday.
Yesterday?
Yesterday.
Ban list?
Well, no, the official rulings and ban list came out yesterday, though we all knew about it 2 weeks ago. But the problem is, though, is that everyone was going out there buying the tour guides, buying the Sangans, all the prices going up, and even Tengu was going up in price. Last time I saw Tengu was 25 quid on eBay, and I was like, well, that's freaking stupid. But the problem is, everyone was predicting it was going to happen, but as the OCG don't have the ruling, why do we? We need to stop doing shit. And I'm a bit like, well, hold on. It's like, why waste all your money? I mean, a lot of people only get paid at the end of the month, and now they're like wasting all their money on tour guides and Tengus and Sangans. And now, as like the ban list come into effect with the rulings, bang! Everyone's like, oh shit. So like they wasted all their money, and it doesn't work. But still, tour guide, you do still get a quick level, rank 3, should I say, Exy straight away, even if it's Levineer or Leviathan Dragon.
True.
But, as I said, in the near future you may have a card, as we were discussing earlier, but you may actually have a card that when you detach this from an Exceed monster, it gets its effect, so...
Shall we say, I don't know, Monster X, when this card is used as an Exceed material, destroy one card on the field. Monster Y, when this card is used as an Exceed material, revive a monster.
Alright, if we put this another way, alright? You take Fables, for instance, right? You have to discard a card, don't you? Say, like, Grimbo has an effect to have a search, you've got Cruz that has an effect, basically bringing back a Fabled card, and basically you have... Cruz, sorry. And then basically you've got other cards that when you discard them, like the Fabled Cats, when it goes to the graveyard, it blows one face-off card on the field. So, if you take that kind of idea and put it for Exceed cards, so you detach a card, it resurrects a monster from the graveyard. When you detach this card, it gets a search. Or you detach this other card, and it does something else. So, at the end of the day, where Exceeds could be going somewhere completely different, it's still the same. But if they did do that, I don't really see the game being fair, to be honest.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of people may say it may be pointless if you can only bring out monsters like that. But then you think about it, how much easier is it to Exceed summon than to Synchro summon? I mean, you got to get a tuner on the field, and you got to get another monster on the field, right? And depending on what monster it is, it may or may not be beneficial for you to get that monster's effect. When it's, for instance, Beast of the Pharaoh, when this card's Synchro summoned, you get to revive a zombie, right? It's an interesting card, but has never really shown much promise. But if you put that in Ixie's way, if this card is Ixie's with, or if this card's detached from an Ixie's monster, it has a whole new level of playing field. I mean, you detach, you get to resurrect, or you get to destroy, or you get to special summon, or I don't know, there's just too many things that could possibly happen. I mean, with the new set coming up in November, Proton Shockwave, which this guy right here is looking forward to.
Oh yeah! Just to finish off my deck at last, or the final deck I've been trying to complete for months.
Yeah.
But as I reiterate, because I hate saying big words.
Small mind, big words.
Stupid to all those English people out there that actually make these big words. Why can't they just say normal words?
Because then it would be American.
Dude, I wrong. Anyway, basically, as I was saying, you know, as Neo Nexus was saying, at the end of the day, what happens is people will summon a normal monster and then summon a tuner and synchro, which is obvious because everyone knows, oh look, you summon a monster, I summon the tuner monster, okay fine, you're going for a synchro summon. Usually they're going to go for a Stardust, a Red Dragon, a Scrap Dragon, a Broniac, you know, all the same old staple cards. But with Exene, or whatever you want to call it, you don't actually know what they're going to do. I mean, I've seen a few videos on YouTube at the moment where people have summoned a level 4 monster, bring out a level 4 tuner, and the opponent says to them, oh, are you going to synchro summon? No, I'm not going to synchro, I'm going to Exceed. And then you're like, oh. So your opponent's already set the field up for you to synchro summon, and their back row is pointless because it doesn't do anything.
Yeah. I mean, with Sun Monk being at 2, it opens a whole new level of playing field. If any of you guys watch WK Dad's videos, you know he's pretty much a dueling prodigy.
Thumbs up to WK Dad!
But yeah, I mean, you pitch a spell, which most people don't really like. But with the fact of there's many spells that you can pitch, I mean, some people are now on budget decks running Gold Sarcophagus instead of other cards. I mean, people are running Gold Sarcophagus instead of Duality. People were running Gold Sarcophagus instead of Duality because when Duality was a secret, it was so hard to get your hands on, so bloody expensive, it was ridiculous. And now the price has dropped out the arse.
Well, that's because we're pinning in the tins.
Exactly.
But I mean, at the end of the day, there are so many as alternatives you can actually build a deck with. I mean, everyone says you have to have these big money cards. I mean, if it, as I keep mentioning in WK Dad's name here, but at the end of the day, you don't have to go out there and buy these 90 quid Pop Duality or 90 quid Solemn Warning just to think you're pro. You don't need that shit.
No.
You know, a lot of us real players out there, because no, we're not called duelists, because for some reason some
Yo, what's up, Yu-Gi-Oh players?
Yeah, it sounds ridiculous.
Duelists are proud!
That's just rude.
I mean, come on, right? When Stardust got released, what pack was that? Duelist Genesis.
Who?
Stardust. When Stardust got released,
Duelist Genesis.
that was Duelist Genesis. The word duelist, not Players Genesis.
That's just the annoying thing. But as I was saying with WK Dad, you know, you don't have to have all these powerful cards. I mean, everyone was going hype over, oh, I must have a Solemn Warning. Yeah, when the new set came out, you had Smashing Horn. And now everyone's like, oh, what the hell? Everyone thinks it's a bad card. Well, to all your Yu-Gi-Oh players out there that say that's a bad card, no, it's not. It's the alternative of countering Solemn Warning.
Right, it is the counter to Solemn Warning, because
Well,
back in the day, you had Dark Hole, then they released a trap card, White Hole. And there's so many jokes about that. And then you had Raigeki and anti-Raigeki. And things like that. They made anti-cards to each other.
Excuse me.
Yep, you made anti-cards to each other, and this is it. This is the latest form. Smashing Horn. You, for free, absolutely free, there's no cost, you negate a trap card that stops the summon of a monster, being Horn of Heaven, Black Horn of Heaven, Solemn Warning, and Solemn Judgment. There's just 4 cards that are commonly known that stop summoning.
Well, the worst card out of all that is a bad card is Solemn Judgment. I'll tell you one thing. I have seen Yu-Gi-Oh players basically Solemn Warning, a heavy Solemn Judgment, a heavy storm just to protect a torrential. And then the opponent just goes, fine, whatever.
MST.
Yeah, and then attack for game. It's like, why would you pay half your life points for that? I'd rather have 3 MSTs in a heavy storm than have Solemn Waters. Solemn Judgment. I think that card is just shit anyway.
Yeah, I mean, it should have some sort of restriction saying only activate when you have 4,000 life points or less.
Well, mostly in the old days, you used to have a few cards to do that, especially in Meteor of Destruction. You can only burn your opponent if they have 3,000 attack, 3,000
life points or more.
But nowadays, you don't ever see any big restrictions like that. But
a lot of you may think that it would be stupid to place a restriction on it. But then again, what's the point in setting your Solemn Judgment first turn, paying 4k to negate a summon, just for them to go, okay, I'll mass special summon, and then whoop your ass.
Well, it is getting ridiculous, but you know, it's not a money game. Everyone says it's a money game. No, because Konami do bring out counter cards
And
after so long.
yeah.
They bring out.
And if it was a money game, why would they re-release cards? People may say it's because of all the bitching and moaning. But then it's due to your bitching and moaning that we have half the cards in play that we do today.
I mean, come on, everyone moaned about Giant Trunade. It got banned. Now Heavy Storm's back.
And people complaining about Heavy Storm.
Everyone's complaining the ban is only just come into effect after a day, and it was like, oh, Heavy Storm's annoying. Just because you can't summon your 3 solemn back row.
Just because you can't put your 3 solemn back row with 2 dimensional prisons. Because someone will just go, Heavy Storm. Yes, you play your Sullen Judgment paying 4k to protect your 4 other back rows. But then you got to remember, you got 3 MSTs, plus the likes of Dust Tornado. You know, it's real easy to just pick off them back rows.
They need... People will just complain about everything. I mean, at the end of the day, everyone moans about freaking cards just because they lose. I mean, what do you do? The game is about a win or a lose. I mean, you can't win all the time.
If you win, you win. You should be gracious and you win. If you lose, you know, you should be humble in your defeat and say, okay, I got beat. What can I do to make myself better? It's not a matter of what cards do I need to make myself better. It's what frame of mind do you need to be in to make yourself better.
This is the way of Yu-Gi-Oh! Should began, somewhere interesting. I mean, who knows? I mean, we've already seen, if you got your YouTubers out, they've actually watched some of the new ZL episodes. Basically, Utopia's best goes up a level, basically. You know, you just bring him back, you got 1,000 life points or lower, bring this new guy in, it's exactly the same name as him, just a bit of a different text.
Oh yeah, Chaos number 39, Utopia Ray.
Yeah, and basically all you do is do this, do that. Oh look, the opponent buggered. So who knows? Leviathan Dragon may get one, Levineer may get one. You know, there's a lot of interesting new cards coming out after Photon Shockwave, so it'd be really interesting to see. But the game is starting to change. At the moment, it's exactly the same as Duelist Genesis. Everyone's complaining these are bad cards, these are rubbish, these are not going to do anything. But as soon as Photon Shockwaves comes out, everyone's going to be like, oh man, I should have bought this card up earlier.
I mean, in Photon Shockwave we've got one particularly interesting card. I believe it's called Shadow Lizard.
Oh, that's a brilliant card.
Basically, when you normal summon a level 4 monster, you can special summon this card from your hand. So, by conducting your normal summons, since most people do use level 4s as a generic normal summon, e.g. Tengu, for instance. You normal summon Tengu, and you can special summon this lizard. And through whatever means that you normally get your tuners on the field, you can still do that, and still have a backup monster. So you can synchro with your Tengu, get another Tengu, and you still got the Shadow Lizard, so, you know, if you want to synchro again, or Xyz after you synchro summon, I mean, for instance, let's say you go normal Tengu, special Shadow Lizard, play E-Telly, grab a Krebons or what's it called, Psychic Commander, synchro with your first Tengu, giving you a second Tengu. Then you got 2 level 4 monsters, so you then Xyz into a Utopia. So you got an offensive monster and a defensive monster. You got an Utopia blocking attacks, and you got your offensive monster going for the damage.
At least with this format, you don't see things with mass special summoning. With Synchros, you just literally summon this, summon that, summon this, Synchro, blow up this card, blow that card, then Synchro again. At the end of the day, I like what Konami have done with basically slowing down the game, because at the end of the day, the Synchro age was way too powerful. I mean, if you didn't have the right cards in your hand to stop things,
you would lose.
Yeah, you'd lose, and if your opponent sparked off in the first turn, you might as well just scoop the duel anywhere.
Yeah, I think that was the reason why they brought out the Lights of Effect Baylor.
Well, they're all good cards, but I mean, it's all very, very situational, and the game still was too powerful back then. But now the fact is, with Xyz, you know, you have an effect that only works twice or 3 times, so you know actually how long the effect's got left. So it's more interesting because you know what's going on. Whereas with your opponent these days, they have to seriously think about what they're doing. Yu-Gi-Oh! Is a strategic type of game. It's not all about net decking, copying everyone else, because at the end of the day, a lot of players out there already know if you're running a normal net deck because they've already seen it. everyone goes on YouTube, copies them, as I keep saying on my own channel, and then, you know, what happens? You go to your locals, your regionals. Oh, look, you're playing the Tengu Plants. Oh, bang, you've gone. Oh, you're playing Lightstorm. Oh, I've got something for that. Oh, Sig Sands, yeah, you've gone as well. And then even X-Sabers, some cocky player at our locals was like that with his X-Saber deck. I shut his deck down with 2 Veilers, and that was it. And he just says like, oh, what? I was like, well, at the end of the day, mate, all you had to do was summon 1 X-Saber monster, and I knew exactly what your deck was doing. And why was that? Because I built one myself. And what did you do with the cards? Burnt them. But just to make literally, so you understand why I'm saying
that was before we made the team, really.
Yeah, I didn't burn the Ultras. And
we burned the shitty cards.
Yeah, we burned all the shitty cards.
X-Saber Ertz and things like that.
And the stupid, like,
that stupid Antelope thing.
Yeah, freaking Fuller Knight, a German card.
Well, Fulhelm Knight's still used, but it's only a rare, so you can just pick it up again.
It's just, I just can't understand why people are so much hyper over these cards. If you build a net deck, you know, everyone's going to do this thing. You build an archetype deck, many players out there will know exactly what you're doing because it's probably the most popular deck out there. So.
At least with something like Tengu Plants or something, yes, you can read into some of the moves, but you don't know what they're going to open with.
Exactly.
But with the likes of X-Sabers, Lightsworn, you know what their goal is. X-Sabers the point is for them to shut down your place with Naturia Beast and Naturia Barkion and to blow up your back rows with Underlay. That is their main point. And once they've got that...
but I see more line here.
Once they've got that down, they start beating you down. With Lightsworn's ultimate goal is to get double JD or now triple JD on the field, nuke the field, drop the other JDs, and swing for game.
Yeah, newsflash, Konami, that was a ridiculous idea to put JD at 3. 2 was hard enough, now 3. You might as well just even scoop even before they summon the monster.
I mean, I was dueling Luke Atkinson, aka Darkness L 1980, Darkness L 1989, I think his name is, the other day. Had one quick match. He was running a Twilight build. I got pwned in the ass quite
The movie's crap, by the way. A low-budget movie, and if anyone ever watched that, you're sad.
Basically, I got pwned quite badly. It was a bit...
By Robert Pattinson.
It was a bit back and forth, you know, was taking certain monsters out, getting certain advantages, and then he just goes, drop JD, nuke the field. I was like, ugh.
Horror.
And then he dropped a second JD. I was down to 45 life points, and he had to drop a second JD.
Bad.
I got wiped out, you know. I didn't have an effect failure in hand. Even if I did, it wouldn't matter because he just dropped a second JD and field wiped. You know, yes, I've only been hit for $3,000, but still, you know, it's a ridiculous card. If we're only allowed 1 Dark Arm Dragon, we should only be allowed 1, I repeat, 1 Judgment Dragon. Because Judgment Dragon is easier to get out, he's more powerful, and he's more sacky.
Yeah, and JD is a bad card.
Yes. Screw Lightsworn.
Everyone complains, everyone moans about cards, but at the end of the day, Judgment Dragon does not have no restrictions.
You pay 1,000, and you pay 1,000, and it has to have 5 or more Lightsworns in the graveyard.
That's
with different names, and that is way too easy.
Yeah.
Every Lightsworn mills off the top of the deck. Paying 1,000 is easy, absolutely easy.
The problem is though, is there's no other restrictions afterwards. With Dark Arm Dragon, it can only.
It has to have exactly 3 darks in the grave.
It can only blow up 3 cards.
And it can only destroy up to 3 cards.
Okay,
if you return those 3 darks to the graveyard, yes, it can destroy more. But by instance, you use up the 3, play Burial, put them back in, destroy another 3. But that's a combo move. With JD, there is no combo. It's just summon, wipe the field, summon another one, good fucking game.
There's no. At the end of the day, it's like King of Demise, exactly the same. But you have to pay $2,000 for it to field wipe.
Plus, it was a ritual, so it was that much harder to get out.
But at the end of the day, Judgment Dragon should have had a ruling saying, pay 1,000 life points to field wipe, but
you can only control 1 Judgment Dragon at a time.
Or even have the fact of you can't attack this
afterwards. Yeah.
It should have some kind of major restriction like that. Yeah, you do have nowadays powerful cards to stop things like that. Battle Fader and like Swift Scarecrow, but that's besides the point. You see, back in the day, Judgment Dragon just field wiped everything, which was pathetic.
Mm.
Everyone moaned how Dark-Armed Dragon was a bad card, so it got completely down and limited. And now everyone's like, oh yeah, Judgment Dragon's back. Now everyone's like, oh, Judgment Dragon's back, oh shit, why does it go back down to 1? Well, because you complained about it, and all those new powerful Lightsworn players out there thinking they're all it.
I mean, Lightsworns are going to be near indestructible this format. It's going to be ridiculous. They have 2 Necro Gardeners negating your attacks. They have 3 Judgment Dragons blowing shit off the field and attacking you directly. And they got double Tragodia just in case you do hit them for damage. So, you hit them for damage, they summon Tragodia. You have to get over that Tragodia. And Lightsworns generally generate a big hand. You go in for the direct attack, they remove a Necro Gardener. You play defensively, they drop triple JD and kill you. So, yes, there are cards out there to counter it, but if you Veiler 1 JD, what's to stop them dropping number 2 and number 3 and just wiping you out?
Yeah, there's not really much you can say about things like that, but...
I mean, sure, we got Starlight Road, but, you know, okay, you negate 1 JD, you blow it up, and you special summon Stardust Dragon. They drop a second JD. They pay 1,000 new tribute stars to block their JD. Fine. Then they summon the third, and they got a direct attack for 3k.
Which is very unlikely that's ever going to happen.
But I have seen it happen.
It happens, but the problem is, though, is having all 3 in your hand. You basically have to make a combo to make that happen, though.
Yeah, but generally, if you have all 3 in hand, you've got game.
Yeah, you don't really need to do anything. Oh, I've done this, I'll do this, blah, blah, blah.
Lightsworn are a complete autopilot deck. You mill, you mill, you mill. Oh look, I got a wolf, I special summon that. I milled a Necro Gunner, I can remove that to negate attacks. And
they haven't actually done anything to basically slow the deck down. Yeah, they've got rid of a Pot of Avarice. What do? They just use 3 monsters.
Triple Monster Reincarnation.
Yeah, so there's so many ways around these decks, but they just don't seem to want to do much. But at the moment, I think so far, until Photon Shockwaves comes out, Lightsworn probably will be this format. But once Photon Shockwave comes out,
it's a whole new game.
Yeah.
Especially with what this guy's got planned.
Oh yeah, what I've got planned, Lightsworns won't even stand a chance of that pathetic Judgment Dragon. I don't care if you blow up my field, I will come back and blow yours up and then burn your whole life points down. So I don't really care. I used to have a Lightsworn deck I built, so I know how it works. But the problem is, though, is if you mill the wrong cards, you've already lost the game. So, and basically, at the end of the day, Lightsworns are so predictable. Once they haven't got their Judgment Dragons, they haven't got anything. So, that's...
But I think we've actually gone a bit off topic. We're talking about the new Exceed rulings.
Well, yes, I think we ran it off. But as going back to the subject we're supposed to be talking about, I do see Ixie summoning coming more popular after Photon Shockwave, and then after the new set, which comes out in February. Yay! It's such my birthday in February, which would be cool.
And that's when we get the 2 new manga books as well, the 5Ds manga and the GX manga.
So Ixing will become more popular very, very soon.
February's going to be an expensive month, guys.
Oh yeah, November may not be an expensive month for you guys.
Well, October, November time's going to be quite expensive. You're going to have everyone buying up the Dark World structure deck. They ain't that great. I've dueled against them.
Yeah,
They're mediocre at best. They always have been. Just because they got a field spell that allows them to draw and a brand new monster does not mean that they are the bee's knees and are going to top every single event.
No. Dark World's alright, they were alright back in the day, but you rarely ever saw them at all because they're not as quick as Fables, they don't have the special effects as Fables do, and basically Dark Worlds have a few new whoop-de-doo cards and everyone's like going hyper over it. It's not really that good. I mean, there's other decks that just storm over that and they're finished.
I mean, if Lightsworns went up against Dark Worlds, with Triple JD, I think they've got it made.
Well, having any deck's got it made, but I mean, the deck basically is, if you don't have things, it's all about discarding basically with Dark Worlds, and if you don't have the cards that you need to discard those cards, then your hand is completely your disadvantage and you cannot get rid of it.
Whereas Fabled, on the other hand, they have effects saying you can discard one favourable monster in your hand to activate this effect.
Yeah, also players, as I see, our local tourneys, thinks he can use basically,
Costs.
costs. Basically, things like Fabled Raven, right? He thinks that gold and silver will be able to be discarded and be used.
Well, I'm not too sure about that. Fable Raven might work.
It may work, it may not, but he
but
tries.
With things like Lightning Vortex, it doesn't work.
He tries to do that, and it's like, look, they don't work. But it says
Lightning Vortex, Monster Reincarnation, things like that, they don't work with Dark Quads, guys. It has to be discarded by a card effect. The part of where it says discard one card is a cost if it's at the beginning. Unlike with Dark Quad Lightning, the cost is destroy one card in the field, and the effect at the end is discard one card.
Which is completely different. It's the way the card is wrote, or written, or whatever you want to say. Basically, it explains what it does, but a lot of players think it's going to be good, but I don't.
No.
I just think Light Swarm, as I said a minute ago, is basically going to be
quite dominant.
I won't see it as a top tier deck. I don't see that at all, because you'll see a lot of Light Swarms running around, but as everybody wants, like, secret JDs, gold rare JDs, the common comes out in October, no one wants a common, so there's no point in having that.
But for any of you people who are just starting up or switching over to Light Swarm, that's going to be probably your best bet of getting hold of a JD. I don't encourage you to play Light Swarm. I don't encourage anyone to play a meta deck.
Oh, no, don't do that.
But, we will be getting in a certain amount of stock out of the October Legendary Collection 2 stuff, so we're going to have stuff to spare, so if you want it, we got it. We don't encourage you to play it, but we got it if you want it.
It's your choice what you run out there, but
we merely supply the stuff. What you do with it is your choice.
Well, quite frankly, I think that wraps all we've got to say about this. But
yeah,
tell us what you think. But you're always going to see Synchro Summon, and that's not going to die anytime soon. As only XCs only just come into play. But I'll see a lot more XCs at probably the YSCS and the regionals. So
especially with effects like Leviair. I mean, the ability to detach and special summon a Roof and Flame monster. That's just brilliant.
Yeah, there's so many new effects and interesting ideas that you could do with some of these cards. So it's all good. At the moment, Yu-Gi-Oh is now a money game for people who want tour guides, sun warnings, and all that. But at the end of the day, there are so many other ways of bringing out those cards. Yet you don't have to waste all your money. But
very true.
People want to waste their money.
As you've seen, we've started segments on, showing you little common cards and rare cards out of the Generation Force pack. Was it Generation Force?
No,
new one?
Yeah,
Generation Force. I'm blonde. But yeah, we showed you some of the new Generation Force stuff. That's going to be, that has potential to be rather quite popular. I mean, I encourage you to watch Doug Kiddad's videos. I encourage you to give him incentive to keep on making these budget decks. Give him incentive to show you his deck lists. The man is very much underappreciated. People just go to him, steal his deck lists, and think they're the bee's knees. And when they can't run them, they start giving him all bits of shit and crap, and it's just like, oh, you're a bad player, I tick this deck and I can't win, blah blah blah. At the end of the day, you have to lose to win, you have to win to lose.
And also, what's Richie's name?
Dark Magician 84.
He'll go to Dark Magician 84 as well. He's got some really decent videos. Plus, watch, as we said in our last video, watch his 10 videos. Jammy Gid.
And his box bloody opening video.
Don't even get me started on that box opening. That was just like, what the hell?
I know. He pulled, a few supers and 2 secrets. He pulled, nothing but ultras.
You've got to be the most godliest dude in the world to pull that shit. I pulled 2 secret rares out of my box, but I was just like,
yeah.
Okay. That's pretty awesome.
We pulled some you pulled in some okay secret rares, but Richie, he just pulled all the high-end ultras.
Oh yeah, he just blew me out of the water. I was like, yeah, 2 secret rares, looks at yours. What the hell?
Together his secret rares may have, total something like 80 quid. The amount of Richie's ultra rares and that ultimate terabyte that he pulled. It's just like...
Just double your money, Richie.
It's over 9,000!
So, it's all good, so, We've got a few more videos coming up soon, you know. Eventually,
I think I'll actually purchase a box of Generation Force, and we'll do a box opening video for that.
yeah, but then we've got to do a few more videos on how, like, different combos we've come up with and other cards that you can use instead of having these like really powerful cards. I mean,
Yeah, we'll show you budget decks, budget cards, and if you have any questions, please do not hesitate to contact either of us. You know, we're more than happy to answer any questions or queries that you may have.
so, you know, hit us up, you know, subscribe to our channels
And especially subscribe to our team channel. Not a lot of people have noticed us yet, but individually we've been noticed. Our team, not so much. We're going to have to start putting some more stuff up on the team channel. This video is going up on the team channel as well as our individual channels. And, well, you know, subscribe. We're going to have... Soon we will start having explicit team only videos. So if you want to see those exciting little videos of the combined genius of me and him, then you're going to have to go find Team Waterpon UK on YouTube. That's capital T and the rest is lowercase. And don't go for the Aussies, Team Waterpon, because well, we kind of blown them out of the water, really.
well, that didn't take us that much actually.
No.
All we did was basically sit there, what? Okay, fine, bang, 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 that's it, we've already beat you already.
Yeah, we're Team Waterpon UK because only real men use Waterpon. I'm in Neonexus.
And of course everyone must know me by now because I keep saying it. I'm Mr. Neo. Mr. Neo. Mr. Neo. Mr. Sasuke Dragon here.
We're Team Waterpon UK.
And we're out.